all right, so what's the next? That's the right decision. And you don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. That's one of the problems. All right. What are you most faithful to? Do that one. Just one. Let's just go one in a row.
Yeah, yeah.
We ain't thinking about and if then. No, just do one in a row. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just start with one and just stop there. I remember being down in after Katrina. We were in Gulf in Mississippi, and we were on these property where all these houses were wiped out. And we were in this one place, and there's this lady's house was just a slate of cement with some rubbish and stuff. It had been completely knocked down. And she came back, and she was about 80 years old, and she was still in her nightgown, and saw it for the first time, and she was just like, oh. And we asked her, what are you looking for? She goes, well, I just want to find a picture, maybe in a scrapbook. So my grandchildren say I don't live here, but that will help me. And then I was sitting there talking to her, and I was like, what are you feeling right now? She goes, I just, can you tell me where to put my right foot if I take a step?
Yeah.
I just need,
is
it solid? Is it going to cave? Am I going to trip? Can you just tell me? I don't even want to look right now. Can I trust you to tell me that if I step this way, one step, my foot will be solid and flat, and I won't slip, and it won't be dangerous. I won't step on a piece of glass. It's not going to, and that's just one step. That's a person in misery going, just show me one solid step. I don't want to know what's going on. No, I don't, not what's happening in an hour, not what's happening in 30 minutes. Just give me one solid step.
Yeah.
That seems to be a place to start for someone in misery.
Yeah.
That doesn't have the ability to project or is so confused, and you feel it's got too much coming down on you, too much pain to think down the line. And then if you do that once, then you reset and you bring up the same question. All right, what's the next one step?
Mm-hmm.
And if it one in a row over and over,
mm-hmm.
instead of, I'm going to put a string together. No, do one in a row over and over and look up, and maybe you can go, look at that.
Yeah.
10 in a row. We got somewhere.
Yeah.
But that's easier said than done, you know?
No,
what do you think?
I love that. I think you hit the nail on the head. It's how we teach children to take one step at a time. It's how we build new habits as people. We do one day at a time.
Mm-hmm.
I think as soon as we start thinking, it's why New Year's resolutions fail. It's why these big claims of I'm going to do this for the rest of my life, or I'm going to do this for the rest of the year, why people struggle with vows and commitments or whatever it may be. It's because you're making this long-term decision based on small amounts of information. And you're spot on that I think it's not compassionate to challenge someone beyond that one step, that footing,
right.
that they're just, I love that answer. I think it's the most empathetic, compassionate, and loving thing you can do is to teach someone how to take the next step
right.
without any pressure to climb the whole mountain.
So what then would you say is the balance between keeping the big picture in mind, but taking one step at a time?
Mm-hmm.
The urge, the will, the incentive, the being to go, no, I'm chasing my transcendent self. I'm trying to be more godlike, whatever that is,
mm-hmm.
which is a big, big picture.
Mm-hmm.
I'm living as if I want to get to heaven or whatever. I want to act in a way that I have good karma. Those are big ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So what's in your mind, what's the dance between that and yes, but put your head down, one step at a time.
As you're saying that, I'm reminded of a beautiful line in scripture. This comes from the Bhagavad Gita, the Eastern text. And the text is not a rule book or a principle book. It's based on a battlefield. And the character is the greatest archer of his time. And he's having a crisis of faith. And the bow's slipping from his hands. He's going to have to fight his family, who are the bad side. And he's the good side, and he doesn't feel capable of taking the lives of people that he grew up with. And that's the scene. And he's talking to God, who happens to be his charioteer. So God's actually riding his chariot, and he pauses in between the two armies. And they have this dialogue, which is 700 verses, 45 minutes long in time. And God's number one instruction is think of me and fight. And so, it's like think of me and fight. So it's like I want you to think of me and then do your duty and take that step.
Right.
And so, talking about what you're saying, it's like this paradox where we think we have to choose, but actually the instruction in and of itself, he repeats that twice. God repeats that twice in the text. It's like, think of me and fight. Yeah. So think of me and do your duty. Think of me and take the step.
Like it.
Because if you think of me and take the step, you'll have faith and trust, but you'll also feel your action and the confidence. But if you only think of me and you just sit there, that's not going to work.
Yeah, let's explore those two extremes that where we don't get it.
Yeah.
One are the fatalist.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. Inshallah.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. We got to have our hands on the wheel.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We have our freedom of choice, and so where is it that we go? You rely on fate too much.
Yes.
And where is it we're like, no, I am fully responsible for everything. The next step is all that matters. Head down. You don't see any horizon.
Exactly.
You don't see any. You're not pursuing anything. You're not Air Force, Navy, or Marines. You're Army. You're dealing with the ground only. You know what I mean? Talk about space. You know what I mean? That's the two extremes when it feels like they can be out of balance. But that paradox in the middle is what so many of us are seeking and pursue and try to live at. But what are practical ways to keep that in the middle where we're feeling both at the same time, where we're thinking of God and fighting.
Yeah.
What's that old Southern adage, the old man and the boy walking, here comes the tornado, and the boy drops on his knees to pray, and I said, get your butt up, boy, scared prayer ain't worth the damn right now. We got to go get shelter.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And then other times, and I've had my Nietzschean agnostic years where I was like, it's all me.
Yes.
It is all about my hands on the damn wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't regret those. And as a believer, I didn't feel spiritually God was mad at me for that. Mm-hmm. I thought he had a wry smile on his face when he was like, way to get your hands on the wheel. I could use some more of that from some more of y'all. But at the same time, you thought you had it. I thought it was all up to you, huh?
Yeah.
But I appreciate the effort.
Yeah.
But it was, I remember the feeling of appreciation, and I needed it at the time because I was giving myself too much amnesty in places, and I was getting, my chassis was a little loose on the edges, and I was like, well, you got to look in the mirror, McConaughey. Grab the damn wheel, man. You couldn't just let it all slide on fate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely. I think there's a reason why so many spiritual and faith traditions, you went to church on Sunday or a temple or whatever. It's like that was the day where you were fully dedicated in faith, aligned in trust. And then you went and worked 6 days. Yeah. And you carried that with you and you tried to practice it as a reminder, but then you went back and then you got reminded and then you did 6 days of yourself.
By about Thursday evening, you were like, I need Sunday to come.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like that's where that third space has been lost. It's like, 100 years ago, third space theory, we had 3 spaces. We had church, work, and home. And then fast forward as time went on, you had work and home. And then fast forward after the pandemic and you just have home.
Right.
And they all had a purpose. It was like church or temple or community or whatever it was. It was a place that gave you the space to look back on your life and take a step back, because at home you have to be dad or mom.
It was a physical place.
It was a physical place that gave you space to ask different questions. Because at work, you're just asking, how do I make more money? At home, you're asking, how do I be a better mom or dad? Yeah. But then what about, how do I do all the other things? Where's the space for that question?
So in this age where most people are they're going to church less, they're going to the temples less, is it possible, do you think, or how can we improve, if you do think it's possible, without the ritual of that third space? Because I understand the concept, man. When I feel most spiritually strong, I'm all days at prayer.
Yes, for sure.
My every interaction is a give and take and a rhythm of, I didn't have to close my eyes. Now, but that Sunday ritual where I did need to get my heart above my head in humility and bow in humility, I saw I got objective
Mm-hmm.
and saw myself from an eye in the sky and was like, oh, are you doing, you're not quite doing, or you could do this thing that you think you're doing a little more truly.
Mm-hmm.
You could have been more benevolent in that. Oh, that was, but I needed that. But then a lot of times, I mean, without the ritual, and so many people now go, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. I think there's people that are a lot more religious than they think they are.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of that is that term that's coming from what mankind has done with religion, which in the Bible, Jesus fought against, was like, that's not what I'm talking about, guys. It's not religion isn't a capitalist thing. It's not a material. It's what we've done with it that I think a lot of people are fighting against.
Absolutely.
But religion,
which is, in fairness, yeah.
The word means from legare, the Latin root. Legare means to bind together, and means again. So a lot of people that I hear saying I'm spiritual and I'm for unity, I'm like going, that's religion.
Yeah.
To bind together again, that's to unify.
Yeah. But going back to our earlier thought, language is limiting. And once a word is scarred and wounded with battle wounds of the past, it becomes less prominent today.
Yeah, see, I'm a prescriptionist.
Yeah,
I keep going back like, I'm not ready to give up on original definitions so quickly.
Yes.
And I can sometimes I'm pushing that square rock up the hill. Other times, you just go adapt. Don't want to be called as a dinosaur, right? So how do we, again, where do we hold on to time and tested truths, spiritual ones in this sense, and still say, no, but let's adapt and evolve. People move around in society differently now. Maybe we don't need the third space on a Sunday, but we take the time every day to meditate, to pray. And church is where you are. It's in nature. That's where I find my church. Do you think these are good supplements?
What do you think? I want to know what you think.
I'd like to say they are, but I'm not sure we're that evolved. I still think we need and want the responsibility, the hand, the hold. This is the day. This is the place. This is where I go. This is what we do. I try to short sheet that bed all the time myself. Man, I know better. And I've never followed through on go forward with the ritual. Go. I've never followed through on it and come away going, 6 or half. I'm always like, yeah, got to keep doing that, man. And I'm trying to do that more as a father and, head of the family. And I'm not doing the best job of it. And I'm understanding this thing about, it's where we are. It's how we think. It's how we're gracious. It's how we're thankful. Before meals, we talk about our day, or we talk about philosophy or stoicism. And I'm like, these are some of the same things. But are they? I'm kind of making an excuse, I think, because philosophy is different than religion. Although my favorite parts of what I've studied with religion is the stuff I can go, I can take that into the week. I can use that practically.
Yeah.
And I still have trouble with burning bushes and parted seas and stuff like that. But that may be a failure of my own true faith. That seems to be, maybe that's my own pride or my own pragmatism or my own belief in philosophy and the way we live life, which I'm eternally interested in. But I don't believe I'm going far enough.
Yeah.
I think I'm short sheeting myself. I think there's a gap there. And I think God's going, I appreciate you trying. You got too much pride. You're not going far enough yet. You haven't fully surrendered to the faith, to belief in faith. And I think you do need that. Mm-hmm. My hunch is, I don't care how tired you are Sunday morning. That's where you should and oughta, and you know it.
Yeah.
Go for that reason. Mm-hmm. So that's my hunch.
Yeah. We're aligned.
Yeah.
I think that what we have available today are poor conduits of a far greater depth that you get from the physical community, the connection, the communion of a direct message that feels really clear and is from source. Like there's a power in that I've personally experienced too. And I've dabbled in both. By the way, I'm the same. I'm the same as you. I live in a place where I don't have that community as I've had in other places that I've lived. I constantly make excuses and find other ways to justify my practice because I can't fully be at the depth that I'd like to be. And so I'm doing it too to survive and to stay connected.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between surviving and thriving. And I know that when I'm thriving in my practice and my faith, it's when I'm doing it the way it was done. Now, this doesn't, going back and just to add the caveat, I think we all know it, is that I'm not saying that the way it was done in all ways was done well. I'm saying that the form of connecting, communion, reflecting, connection, that you can't substitute that with anything else. But we're living in a world today where we need new tools. And we need things that are more accessible, and people need them and are available to them. And I see them as a beginning of the journey and a bridge, not the destination.
Okay.
So I think if we're building a longer bridge, then that's healthy, because if someone never starts the journey on the bridge, will they ever make it to the place?
What are we building the bridge with?
So for example,
what's the brick and mortar?
I guess
steel?
what I mean,
What's
like if people are trying to do their daily meditation, maybe they're meditating through an app. Maybe they are trying to work out with an online workout, right?
Yeah.
Like if they were in the gym at a class, maybe that would be a more fun atmosphere for them, right? Maybe people are reading a book about poems and prayers inspired by, but not directly from the source, but that's their beginning bridge of their journey to that direction in their own pace, at their own time, whenever, if and when they want to go. And I feel like that's what you do and what I try and do and what so many do, is we're trying to build bridges, hopefully, that are not the home. I think the problem is when the bridge becomes the home.
Amen.
You don't want to live on the bridge.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I can't remember who said it. There's a famous quote that says, the world is like a bridge. Don't build your house on it, cross over it.
Hey.
And that, I don't know who said it, but it's that idea of, I think all of these platforms and apps and tools, they're all bridges.
Yeah.
But don't live there.
Yeah. Don't live there. Don't feel that that's home.
That's it. Yeah.
I mean, let me ask you this though, because like in the Bible, it talks about we're strangers here. We don't find a home here. In some version, and I may be theologically messing this up, but what I get from it is, but your pursuit to try and make heaven on earth, which you will not, because you will never find it here till you get there. That's as good as you can do. But you will always be a stranger. You will always be an immigrant. You will always be looking for a home here on earth.
Yes.
Now, how does that necessarily mean that doesn't mean we're living on a bridge?
Yeah.
Or does it?
I believe so. I feel like it's like an airport terminal. It just feels like home because we feel like it's a long time, but because it's not eternal, it can't possibly be the destination.
Right.
From a religious, spiritual
but
sense.
You're trying to make home, or the pursuit of home.
Yeah.
What you see home, trying to bring it here.
Yes.
Trying to emulate it as much as possible.
Yes,
Live
you're trying to
in
practice.
The light of that.
It's like I'm going to France next year, so I'm going to practice French now.
Right.
Like that, I think, is the big picture and the daily step at a time. It's like I'm trying to aspire to live. I'm going to move country next year.
Yeah.
But I'm going to practice the rules, the rituals, the language of that country this year, because then I'll be prepared. So I don't not have a great life now. I'm not postponing joy.
Right.
I'm not postponing happiness or love. I'm practicing that culture that I believe is better for me now, if that makes any sense.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. What's been, I feel like your mind is like you're constantly observing patterns and observing even like language, as we've been talking. What's something that you've observed about humans that fascinates you, that surprises you maybe?
One, our ability to adapt when there's not another option.
Wow. That's a good one.
We're elastic, man. We are elastic, more elastic than I like to practically think. But boy, when we're put to it, I'm amazed how quickly we can change, adapt, evolve, come to understand the other side. When we're put to it, you give us the option, we take the out, man.
Yeah.
And we argue and I ain't budging. Nuh-uh. You know what I mean? And then on the flip side of that, somewhat, is how we seem to find in this pursuit of the ideal